So, hope the lunch was good. Did you guys enjoy the healthy food? Good. Good. Okay, cool. Do we have Michael? Actually, can we have Titus, Michael, Shanette come up here? You guys mind coming up here real quick? In case. Yes. So as I talked about at the beginning, this is our team. This is our Rockstar team so far, part of Dominate Web Media. So I introduced them. Some of you guys weren't able to. This is Titus. Tell everybody where you're from.
Yeah, I'm from Amsterdam, the Netherlands. I haven't lived there for 14 years, mostly in Spain, but that doesn't matter. I'm about to move country again. So I found Keith basically because I bought something from Ryan Dice like a year ago. And Keith offered basically his membership course, and I took him up, and then we got in touch at some point, and we started working together at like the beginning of this year. So it went very well, and I liked it a lot. Collaboration with Ralph and Keith, it went really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Go ahead, Shanette.
I'm Shanette Porter Clinton, and actually I started working with Keith. He found me through HireMyMom.com. So, yeah. Started off with web work and then went on to project management.
And she hasn't been with me that long. I'll talk about each one of these, but Titus, first of all, and Michael both, these guys are they're ninjas. Like, I was talking with James Schramko a few days ago, Ralph, and we spent almost 2 hours, and we were talking about podcasts and stuff like that, and we're like, you want to have people, the guy behind the scenes that's doing all this stuff, and so we're like, this is, like, these guys are the ninjas, so that's why I want to bring them up here. And Shanette, it's only been really a few months, and originally I hired her to kind of do content stuff, but she's, like, as far as this type of brand, I hired her more for like the brand Dominate Web Media, and because we really want to pick up the content creation, blogging, podcasting, stuff like that. But she's ended up morphing into. She's gonna be doing way more just because she's so awesome, like the best hire I've ever had. So that's Shanette, and by the way, she helped her daughter. She's basically partners with her daughter, who is a freshman in college. Okay, it's her first year, and they built up a YouTube channel with how many subscribers? 32,000 subscribers. Real, like, they post a video and it's got thousands of views instantly. So she's doing what she loves to do. So lots of cool stuff there. And then Michael, go ahead.
So I'm from Los Angeles. I'm actually a native. There's only 0.111% of us in Los Angeles who are native. And I found Keith and Ralph because I went through Harry's course, the Facebook Express.
Harry Marshall.
Harry Marshall, yes. And I started doing some stuff for some clients. I'm like, this is not going as well as I like. So I hit them up and said, I want to do coaching. And they sent me just some $500 an hour page. I said, nope, that ain't what I want. So we started talking back and forth, and I learned underneath them, and then I've been doing more and more stuff for them as it goes.
So these guys are people we didn't go out and try to hire. They came up through the program, like our courses, which is good. So we know they've got experience in it. Continue to get better and better. Ralph, we all know Ralph. He just kind of messes around a little bit, keeps me on pace.
Well, all these guys actually do the real work. I don't really know exactly what I do, but no, I mean, this is the team right here. Both of these guys, and Shanette. As far as you really need. We're going to talk about ad creatives, and a lot of that stuff. She does a lot of that high end, all the things that we don't know how to do. She does.
Make it look pretty. Make it look like this.
Yeah. Super, like, brand and awesome looking creatives, especially, from our side. And then Michael is, he manages these massive campaigns with like hundreds and hundreds of ad sets, and is supposed to optimize them all. I don't know how the hell he does it, but somehow he figures it out so that we get the client what they want. Amazing skill there. And Titus, he has some Facebook ninja skills that I think, if he would tell you, I think he would have to kill you. But we're going to open that up a little bit later on today, and I think they're Dutch. And,
seriously. Yeah. So there's some stuff sometimes I'll be talking about, like on a webinar or a bigger one. He's like, there's some trade secrets there, so let's keep those to our high-end coaching guys. Seriously. So we're trying,
He's getting nervous actually about stuff we've told you guys so far. So yeah.
But and like I said at the beginning, our goal is to, and that's why tomorrow we're doing a full day retreat. It's the first one we've done because we really want to take things to the next level. We want to talk about like how we can take on clients, only clients that we want to work with, guys that are doing good. How can we really start with why? By the way, that's a great book, the book called Start With Why. It's an Audible book. I got Vishen Lakhiani when I was down in Mexico recommended that book. We're really trying to build our company around this purpose-driven thing. And what it does is when you do that and you feel like there's more of a cause and you can get these guys, we haven't done a good job, to be honest with you, up till now. And what the goal for 2015 for us is to really have a company where we're making a big impact and we're doing things that we enjoy to do. So a lot more people want to be a part of something bigger than just making money. So because it's more than that, we know that. So that's why I want to bring these guys up. And I think after this weekend and the next quarter, we're going to do a lot of cool things. But when you guys are same thing with you guys, because we've got the ability to really scale once you figure out how to get your lead magnet right, and once you figure out how to get these things converted, you can scale pretty quickly. And if you really do understand the process that you got to build trust and value first before you can try to sell people, then you can do some pretty cool things. So as we get into some of the targeting, bidding, stuff like that here this afternoon, holler at these guys, okay? If you don't ask Shanette if you're going to targeting something like that. If you got like a design thing or content, ask Shanette. But any ads manager, anything like that, when we start doing this stuff, grab these guys. They're walking around. Cool? So thanks, guys.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
So let's talk about lead magnets. We're going to give you an example of just more how to think on this. So this is what we did with Taki. So Taki Moore is based out of Sydney. He teaches people he teaches executive coaches basically how to take their business from doing one-on-one coaching to doing one-to-many coaching, group coaching, selling to a group, selling via webinars, selling via live events like this. By the way, this thing that we're doing right now, this model, I learned this really from Taki, our client. So he's a smart dude if you're a consultant, a business coach. But basically, we took over and they'd already ran ads successfully because they understand the sales process. They have a high-end coaching program that basically the end result goal is they're selling an $18,000 a year program. It's expensive, okay? And so what they do initially is they have a lead magnet, they have a 4-video series, they'll do live events, they'll do webinars, stuff like that, okay? But the ultimate goal, I just want to give you a little scope, the ultimate goal is a $15,000 a year or $1,500 a month, which turns into $18,000, okay?
Let me just interrupt you for a second.
Sure.
We're talking about this so that you can think about what we talked about before as far as your lead magnet and how we took a lead magnet that was okay and then turned it into something that was killer. So think about the one specific thing for the specific audience that you want to target on Facebook. So
doesn't matter if it's physical product, coaching, doesn't matter. It's this relates to all industries, I promise you. So initially, he's really good on video, okay? He's a great presenter. He's 50 times better than I am, that's for sure. Okay? So his thing initially was how to attract, convert, and deliver like $1 million coach. They click there, they opt in. They were split testing between 2 pages. One of them, they both looked like this. One of them was an autoplay video where they opt in to get the free video series. The other one was a fake out, video fake out. So they try to push play and it won't play. They got to opt in to watch the video. They were about the same. They were within 1% of each other.
9% off, I think.
11.58. One of them might have been 9. It was right around there. Yeah. Yeah. So we said, and they've been running ads a lot successfully. They're running their ROI was really good because of the high-end product and the sales process they have in place. But like I said, we were like, we're running Facebook ads. We know they have a pretty expensive market. It's a high-end, trying to go after high-income individuals. But we're like, there's no way. We got to be able to increase the lead magnet, okay? So what we did was, first step, okay, this is a process. This process we're going to walk you through is took about 3 months probably to do this. Sort of, because it was
took them about
6
3
week.
months to listen to us, actually. We weren't very good at that. We finally did.
So, okay, yeah. So basically, we said, you guys are delivering a webinar checklist on video too, in their phone. So after they opt in to this, in this situation, they land on kind of like the launch page. It looks like you got the 4 videos, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. Although in their situation, they could go through each one right away if they wanted to. It wasn't timed out. But the point is, they were delivering lots of value, and then eventually they were selling a live event. Okay. So we said, let's use the webinar checklist. So what we did was we started out with the 27-point webinar marketing checklist for coaches as the lead magnet, and then we just had them deliver it on video 1 instead of video 2. So that's what we did. So initially, as soon as we switched it to this, the opt-in on the cold traffic jumped from, you'll see the middle one there, 19.29. That's what happened once we switched it to the webinar checklist. You'll see right above there, which I had a laser, but right here, 12,000 visitors, 1,400 opt-ins. So it's significant traffic there, right? 11.59%, 11.69% conversion rate. So then we switched it. It jumped up to about 22, and then it settled down to 19, and that's about what it was. So
But let me just say, before we did that though, we asked them, we said, what's the number one thing that your audience wants? And they said, well, Mike, they want to be able to sell with webinars. So, really bad Australian. Can you delete that?
Really good Australian.
Yeah, nobody's going to watch it anyway. They want to be able to sell with webinars because they were doing this one-on-one stuff. So we asked them that. But this was a long process. It took us a while to get to that. So, well, why don't we just give them what they want right up front, and then the video will help take them through that process, this 4-video series. Because their headline was, how to sell like $1 million coach. What the hell is that? It's not specific, it's so vague. But this, sell with webinars, and here's a checklist on how to do it.
Now,
specific.
in most cases, most of the traffic was a video anyways, so even though it was pretty vague, he's really good on video and he builds trust. So he's telling people the value of these videos, right? So, but it was still only getting 12% opt-in rate because it just wasn't specific enough. So now we switched it to that. Then what we did was basically, we added this as a bonus, 3 case studies and 4 bonus videos. So we actually added that even before we started using this background. So there was a few different versions of the one you just saw here. There's like one with Taki, a screenshot of him doing a whiteboard video. We love doing action. We love using action photos for Facebook ads and for landing page backgrounds if you do a squeeze page like this. But Facebook ads are great using action shots, especially when they show credibility, when they give you credibility if you teach something. But even if it's like swimming or something like that, it's great. Point is, we did different versions of this, and then some of them we started adding in the parentheses right away, actually. This was the one that they did. That's why it doesn't have the parentheses of plus 4 free videos. So basically, they didn't have to change the funnel. The reason why we're thinking, how can we improve this without them having to rebuild their funnel? Because they didn't have time to do it. It just wasn't going to happen.
We had ads running live, like thousands of dollars a day. Like your opt-in is 11%. Come on, we got to get this better. And your cost per lead is $16, $17. And we know we can get it down lower. So there was an urgent need, so we did this totally on the fly.
So then we got to there. Then we said, hold on, before I go to that, I said, just like I told you guys earlier, do you have any video testimonials? Bless you. So do you have any video testimonials, especially when you're taking them to a squeeze page? Okay, get them warmed up, get the better opt-ins, and then also get people to last longer through your funnel. So no, we don't actually. We've got tons and tons of testimonials. We just haven't done any videos yet. So, okay, but we have screenshots of like text messages and Facebook posts. I said, okay, great, send me those. Those are the best testimonials to use on a sales page normally, right? Because you can take the screenshot and it's a lot better than having the picture of the person with the text. They said, right? Because it's proof. But on a landing page, it's kind of hard to do. So we just said, let's just do it anyway. So I made a super ugly page, like we talked about before, that should show the online version of it. That's fine. Basically, all 4 of these are showing proof. One of them's 63K in a day. That one shows a large number of sales. The same thing. 544 book. The bottom of this shows it's all results based. So we added that, and we started tweaking the headline, 3-step system that can add 20K to 40K a month to your coaching business with webinars. Includes 3 case studies and 4 bonus videos. Okay? Then
we got all our ads disapproved.
hold on. Okay, hold on. So first, let's do a poll. Okay? This one here, how to explode your coaching business using one-to-many selling strategies. Let's take a vote of which one. If you guys were on one of our webinars, you might already know this, but let's take a vote. Which one do you think would win? How to explode your coaching business using one-to-many selling strategies, that headline, or this one, the specific one, 3-step system that can add 20K to 40K a month to your coaching business. Which one do you think won? One?
Who says this one?
Raise your hand. Or 2. This one.
This one.
Let's look at the stats.
Hold on.
What's that? What?
We changed this because we had to. I didn't change it because I wanted to. I changed it because we had to. Because Facebook said, you're making an unrealistic claim. You're work at home, you're biz op, you don't want, Michael's like, oh yeah, I remember this one. Yeah, this was a nightmare. So we got all our ads, like thousands of ads, all disapproved. It was a disaster.
It was during that time when everybody was getting, it was still happening. It was like September or something like that when every accounts were getting shut down a lot. They went on a barrage for like 6 weeks.
So we changed everything. We changed all our ads, recreated brand new ad sets. I think Michael put in like 100 hours in like 2 days. Like stopped the rotation of the earth, I believe. Got them all done. But we had to change it, so we did this. And I'm like, this is gonna suck. It doesn't have the claim. It's not nearly as good.
It's not as copyrighted.
But this is Facebook. So Facebook people, remember, you're interrupting them in their news feed. They, make $10,000, $20,000. They're gonna be like, oh, come on, give me a break.
But it's
not
true.
Be a wrestler in 24 hours. I mean, come on, that's not really possible. Like unrealistic claims don't really fly. But
Even if they're realistic, which they are in his case.
Totally.
Look at these screenshots. I mean, you're crazy.
so we changed that the landing page copy and the ad copy.
So this is 28% is the 20K 3-step process to increase your revenue 20K to 40K. This is the general one, 47%.
Explode your coaching business. 47% opt-in.
So you got the general stuff, but you've got the testimonial background to give it that proof of the results. So if we didn't have the testimonials, that's something we could test. I guarantee if we took that same basic headline and put the background of like the whiteboard or something, this drops to 20. I bet it drops big time because it's not as specific. It doesn't sound hypey, but it's got the screenshot proof. So this is little things. But the thing is the point here is the learning lesson for us is don't stop testing. Continue. Try random stuff that might not work. Figure out how you can build trust. It's all about building trust on Facebook. And
3,200 opt-ins.
yeah, this is not a small amount. 6,800 visitors, 3,200 opt-ins. So just think about it. If you go back to the original screenshot where we had 15,000 visitors at 12%, let's go back to that one real quick. Right here, 12,000. So you got 12,000 visitors at 11%, produced 1,400 opt-ins. They still had ROI here because the selling process, okay? If that was at 47%, we're talking almost 6,000 leads compared to 1,400. It's a big difference, right? Yeah. And probably in this case, another couple $100,000 at least.
They made, oh my God, yeah, $500,000 off that probably coaching fees.
Yeah, with about 80,000 of ad spend. Or no, probably less than that.
I forget, but anyway, it was a lot.
So the point is specific checklists, they work because in his case, one of the reasons why that checklist works is because right after that, he has a ton of content and a ton of great videos. So if you just have just like an email autoresponder and that's it, and a sales page, it's not going to work. You got to have a way to move them down. So just some things to think about. So now let's go around the room and let's start. Let's try to figure out who we can help create a good lead magnet, a good landing page. What I would say is And feel free, if you're listening, feel free if you have lead pages, pull up one of the super basic templates maybe if you want. If you have to do that one checklist kind of one thing type of lead magnet. If you want to do a webinar for your lead magnet, that's fine. Maybe if it's a physical product, kind of a sales page you're going to drive traffic to, then maybe you're kind of trying to figure out how you can change that offer. Maybe you can have more of a low priced impulse buy offer. Okay, maybe you can't create that right now, but you can create the kind of hook around it. So let's kind of go around the room a little bit and let's just hot seats.
Probably only do like one or two because we're now looking a little bit late.
You're right, yeah.
So pick one.
We might, yeah, so who wants to go? Let's,
Lead magnet.
yeah.
What do you got for lead magnet?
Or tell us, go ahead. Jamie.
So I have a bunch of different products. So if we were to pick one, I have a launching of a group coaching program actually coming up. And we launched it before with a webinar. But trying to determine the stats on the webinar from coming from all different places has been a pain in the butt. So I was thinking about doing just an opt-in. And I have a bunch of, I have some lead magnets right now, but I don't think they're great. So I'm trying to like make one specifically for that.
Okay, sure. So now, one question is this going to be, is your goal to get as many people, kind of your warmer traffic, to move into your coaching program? Of course, that's going to be your goal. But with your lead magnet, is it going to be focused on those warm folks, or do you also want to go into that cold area
In the
too?
past, we've done retargeting. We haven't done too much cold, but I just launched it in September. We're launching it again in January, so I don't know if we're going to have.
Well, and that's okay. I think for you, retargeting, you can think about your traffic because you're getting so much traffic to your podcast, and you're driving a lot of traffic from your podcast to your blog. So you got your website custom audience pixel on there, so you have a lot of warm traffic. Some that have opted in, maybe not, but a lot of them haven't gone into like a sales funnel process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's okay. So you could still use a similar lead magnet that would be for really ice cold or fairly warm.
We have a growth evaluation of business.
Yep.
It's a little too involved. We actually walk them through it in the group coaching program. So I'm wondering if I can make like a smaller version of that, or is that not something that would be?
I don't know if that'd be the good lead magnet unless you're talking about it like on a podcast. I think so. If you can you give a 30-second overview of your audience, real
Yeah.
quick, to everybody?
Well, it would be, so the audience for this group coaching program are
Yep.
people that already have a business. They're in the first 1 to 3 or 4 years, probably making, I mean, some of the testimonials that we had some people that were making $500 a month, and now are making like maybe 10 grand this month. So it really depends on the size of their business. One other guy went from 15 grand a month to 25 grand a month in 3 months. And so we've gotten a lot of like people that are doing, 20 grand a year to people that are doing like 200 grand a year.
Okay, cool. Okay, very cool. Okay, so, and tell me quickly about the growth.
Checklist. It goes
Yes.
through 8 parts of
It's
your
a
business.
checklist.
Well, it's an evaluation, so it's pretty much 8 different parts of your business, and you rate yourself. So it'll be like customer service. We follow up after somebody buys and does, what I mean, that sort of thing. And then you rate yourself 1 to 10, and then you add it up, and then you get a score at the end.
So is it something where you can opt in at the end of it or not right now, or could you create that?
Ooh, we don't do that.
So those work really well. If you're going to do something, if you could turn it into then more like they answer the 10 questions,
Yeah.
and they can rate themselves, that's fine. It's like the Is Facebook for Me quiz. And then to get the results, they opt in. So now that's an incredible Facebook lead magnet. You almost can't, that's better than some of this stuff in some cases because you're getting them engaged right then. And then that's micro commitments. They're already getting committed and then they could opt in to get the results. And those people share the heck out of that stuff too.
Really? What's the program that you use for that, though? Because I have Infusionsoft. So we could create, I've created quizzes before, but not in that
Yeah,
way.
good question.
Survey
That-
funnel.
Yeah.
I would do it as a modified
Pop-
survey funnel on just separate pages, though. I would
Like
not do it on
like
one
Ryan
page.
Levesque's actual
Yeah,
like
Ryan
surveyfunnel.io.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Even if you're not using that software,
I-
I would do each question on a different page. Click, boom, next. Click, boom.
I did a webinar with him too on his survey funnel software. It's awesome. It's really, really good. And he's in some markets where he's in one market, he's in the golf space where they're getting 3,000 to 9,000 leads a day using surveys. 3,000 to 9,000 a day, not on Facebook. They're getting some of those from Facebook, they're getting them everywhere. They're buying media everywhere. So it works. Some of the best fitness funnels on the world start with kind of just that little, getting them engaged or asking them a question, some kind of so they feel like it's specific. So you can take it to there are a lot of levels you can take it, and then you're talking about a lot more customization and stuff like that. But that's a great thing you can do because you can customize in some cases. Some people will customize the front end of a video depending on what they did. But even just to do that alone, you can just keep it simple and tell them the results will be in their email if you want to start out simple. But yeah, and then it just segues into whatever your offer is.
Okay, bottom line is that with a lead magnet or anything on the front end of your funnel, it's not necessarily just a giveaway or an opt-in. It could be a lot of different things. I mean, for all our clients, every opt-in, every first sort of indoctrination into them is different. But you know, it could be a funnel like that. We actually had a client that did that, and it worked out really well. Unfortunately, when they got their results, they actually had integrated it into a particular solution at the end, so it's a little bit more high-end. But you could definitely do that. You know, enter your name and email to get your results, whatever it happens to be. So you can do it really basic, or you can have it highly customized. So.
All right, we're going to go through this section fairly quickly. We'll cover more of this stuff in detail. Like Molly will hit on some of this when she's going through. We'll cover it more when we're going into some of the more advanced stuff later on too. But we're going to go through this fairly quickly. But these are some key elements to creating your ads. Okay, just basically creating ads. Okay, number one is, where's my clicker? Here it is. The three key elements basically are headline, ad copy, and creative. That's the three key elements to an ad, and also how to create an ad that is congruent, that comes to a landing page that relates well to your ad. And we'll get to that more in a second. But those are the three key elements. Let's just kind of get right into it. So we've actually, in my members area, I've got a whole training on 15 kind of headline formulas. And just for this part, we'll actually give you one or two main headline formulas that are really, really good to start with. You can kind of use as a control, okay?
Right. And one type of ad that we're really talking about, just to really narrow it down for you guys, is we've talked about video ads, we've talked about a lot of other ads, but for most of us, we're going to be using link post ads. So that's really, we could talk all day on ad types and how they're used, but really it's a link post ad. So that landing page that you created with your offer or with your opt-in is going to be put into your post so that your image is clickable, right? So that's I would say 95% of all our ads are link post ads.
When we're not besides a video ad,
That would be the other 5%.
but you're still running the highest percentage with these types of ads. Yep. So, but to start with, how to, whatever the benefit is, without having to. This is one of the best, really, how to lose weight without exercising, okay? It's the core just principle. Everybody wants to get people want fast and easy. They want a result without having to do anything. People are lazy, right? So,
Get approved on Facebook, but
probably, I know exactly. How to buy a house without having good credit or a down payment. So it's how to without having to. These are super basic examples, but the point is this is like the best formula to start with in most markets. So another one similar, and it works really well on Facebook, and I believe it's one of the examples, but attention, kind of a call out, attention so-and-so, attention business coaches, attention teachers, okay? How to live the promise, which is the benefit, okay, without having to so-and-so. So for example, attention moms, how to quickly cook healthy meals for your kids without turning on the oven. Fast and easy. But the great thing about attention getting call out ads on Facebook is sometimes, as you guys saw when we were doing the audience research this morning, spending a lot of time on that, is there's a lot of broad categories. And sometimes you might see a category that might look good, but it could be, there's probably a lot of people in that audience that you know are right in your audience, but there's probably a lot of people also in that interest that aren't. And you're like, you don't want wasted clicks. The one thing we found the work we want to do on Facebook is we want targeted audiences, but we also want good, high quality clicks. We don't want wasted clicks. It's not all about click-through rates. It's about opt-in rates, right? We want low cost per click, of course, but I'd rather pay more for my click and get higher quality leads and sales any day of the week. So we do some of those depending on the market that you're in.
Perfect example of that is we have a client that is business and executive coaches. That's their target. So we created, this is another Michael campaign, we created a ton of ads, and we started off with coaches. Learn how to, forget this, there's a lot of different headlines. I think we actually use it as an example here in the following slide. So they started getting all the opt-ins and they started selling, and then they found out through their consultations, we're getting a lot of law of attraction coaches. That's not our type of person. So like, shit. So we changed our headlines to attention business coaches, attention executive coaches, because somebody who is interested in coaching, or Ali Brown, or Brian Tracy or Tony Robbins or whatever it happens to be, or whatever type of coaching interest you have, just because you're not going for everybody, you can actually segment out within your interest a specific subset that's highly responsive to your offer.
I'd rather target a bigger audience. I'd rather not lose those people. I'd rather risk targeting kind of a little bit maybe too broad of an audience than reaching people that I might have otherwise not been able to reach by using a call-out ad. So
we'll show you how. We're just sort of explaining it. We'll show you sort of how this manifests in the ad itself.
And then some quick ad copy tips. This is kind of the actual copy. So a lot of people ask, how much copy should I put in the ad itself? Like if you're doing a newsfeed ad, it looks like a post in the newsfeed, right? How much should I put in there? Should I just put a quick headline, or should I put a lot? First, the shorter answer is it depends, and it just depends. And I've seen short copy win, I've seen long copy win. Couple copy tips. Number one, support the headline. You're probably going to have some kind of main headline or call to action in your ad. And we'll show you guys an example of an ad here, don't worry. This is the most bullet points we've had all day. But we got to have a few. So what's that? You have to have sometimes, yeah. So curiosity is great. So if you can add some curiosity in that ad, but you don't want to, it's got to be congruent. We don't want too much curiosity with Facebook. You don't want people going to the ad not knowing what they're getting. Curiosity is really good, though. That's why some of these specific one-tip lead magnets can work really well. Give them a preview of what they're going to get, okay? Facebook, the big thing about Facebook right now, their compliance division, they're on a mission. Like they're on a mission to create this ad platform that improves people's lives, like almost like the stuff I was talking about earlier. They think that, a little bit unrealistically in my opinion, they believe that they can create this ad experience that is beneficial to the end user, okay? So they don't want anybody creating ads that trick people, even in a little bit of a way. And remember, a lot of these are robots that are approving these ads. So this is good for your,
Lots of cases.
This is good for your performance, but it's also good for your compliance, getting your ads approved and your accounts not getting shut down.
Right, well, let me just say this.
Sure.
This is actually part of their terms of service, too. You want to give them a preview of what they're going to get on the other side once they click. So not only is it good, remember our example of Talking More, make $10,000 to $20,000 more per month. Hey, great. 27% opt-in. As soon as I went Facebook compliant after 1,000 ads got disapproved, and Michael stopped the revolution of the world in order to recreate the entire campaign, our opt-in went up to 47%. So Facebook, they understand it's a skeptical person that's going to click on your ad. So keep that in mind. If you come across as too sensational, you probably won't get your ad approved. But secondarily, if you actually make it so that they understand what they're going to get on the other side once they click, and it's believable, you're going to have a much better opt-in rate, a higher click-through rate, and ultimately you're going to be able to sell more.
Yeah. And for those of you guys that have clients, a lot of times what we'll do, if we got to get something up pretty quickly, pull copy from the landing page. So sometimes the headline on the landing page is basically the same as in your ad. It's almost the exact same thing. It's the same, and that creates congruency, et cetera, et cetera. The image might be the same. Take a screenshot of the landing page image, use that as your image in your first case, okay? So a couple tips for creative. Actually, I'll do this one first, then I'm gonna bring, so this is the ad creative. This is for your image, okay? Basic just tips, run through these quickly. Use action photos. We love action photos. I told you a lot of the reasons why earlier. Use contrasting colors, okay? Contrasting colors, contrasting from Facebook's white and blue really work. Black, dark, of course, bright colors. But I'm not saying go out and create all these super ugly yellow green borders. You might get higher click-through rates, but be aware of what you're doing to your overall brand, okay?
So 2013.
If you're running, and I wrote this in my book, and the copy from that was written like, 7-8 months ago, a lot of that stuff. And so I talked about newsfeed ads compared to right column ads. If you're doing a right column ad, your first goal is to stand out from the noise and get a click. The second goal is to get them high quality, so to get an interested click so they get on your landing page and they opt in, right? When you're running a newsfeed ad, odds are they're going to see your ad. Your basically ad takes up the whole top half of the newsfeed. So yeah, of course it can get in the noise too, and they might not see if it's not compelling, okay? But we know if it's bright and you got really good copy, you're going to get higher clicks, higher click-through rates, and a little bit cheaper clicks. However, they're going to see your ad if you're targeting them. They might skip over it and not click it, but you want not only a click, but you want somebody that actually clicks, not just purely based on curiosity. Because if you get a lot of people clicking and landing on your landing page and coming back, that's a high bounce rate. Facebook doesn't like that for 2 reasons. They'll stop showing your ads for one. They'll reduce your impressions. They'll increase your click costs, okay? Plus, more importantly, longer term. Think about what you want at the end. What's your ultimate goal? If your ultimate goal is to sell an $18,000 program, or if it's to sell a $99 a month program, or if it's to sell the supplements, then your brand is you're doing a lot of branding while you're doing this. You're giving them a perception of what you are. So be classy, try to be creative, stand out, use compelling copy, but also think about how you're representing your brand. So they're coming through. That's a big deal for me. I think it's a big, big deal. I would rather take a little bit of hit on click-through rates and get more sales in the end and just make a better impression. Because a lot of people, remember, 10.4 is the average times they need to see something. So if you're doing crap, then you're not going to get them to eventually convert when they're ready. So use good stuff. So call to action overlays are really, really good on your images, okay? Adding a little button, we'll show you an example here. Yeah. Add to landing page congruency, this is key. Bree, would you mind real quickly giving a couple tips so add copy and creative. So Bree, AKA Betty Rocker, has built a 100% organic, right?
Totally.
So she's
Yeah.
built an organic brand very quickly. Like I said, 127,000 Instagram followers. She has massive, massive engagement, like 35, 40,000 Facebook fans. Huge,
Just from Instagram, yeah.
Just from Instagram. And so I want her to give you guys a couple tips on just copy on what to say that resonates with people, that not only will get them to click, but also get them to convert and like become a loyal brand follower and advocate.
Yeah, thanks. I was really, when you were talking earlier about how you want to be that person at the party that someone remembers when they see your ad when
Right.
they're driving by. I don't want to just be the person that they remember and want to click. I want them to tell all their friends about me. Like, I want to be that person. So when I was thinking about, like, why would someone tell their friends about me if I talked to them at a party or if they saw me online? It's because I was able to share something with them that empowered them. I was able to teach them something, right? So a lot of my messaging and my style of communication, it doesn't sound like I'm teaching, but I'm actually imparting information that I know that they need in order to get their desired result. So I'm in health and fitness, and what I'm selling are healthy eating guides, fitness programs, all that kind of stuff. But the way that I write is I speak right to the heart. I speak from my heart a lot of the time because this is my life. I am my audience, which makes it very easy for me. But to say you're a brand and you want to talk about the product or service that you're providing, and you want to teach people something about how to use your service or product or show them why they need it, very easy to communicate that. I think the easiest example is Pinterest. So you look at a Pinterest board and you see a coffee company. They're also talking about beautiful places that people are like finding coffee that they grow in the world. So you want to talk to the people about what they care about to get them to want to buy your product or service. And all of my communication style is about teaching what they care about and being authentic.
She does really long posts.
Really long. Like I just
Long.
did a post yesterday that got 1,800 likes, and I shared it on Facebook, got a ton of shares, and it was all about like how money isn't everything. Basically, I use quotes a lot. I mingle my content between the different interests that my users have, and then I speak about something really meaningful that resonates with them to engage.
And she's selling a lot of products, don't get me wrong. Trust me, she sells a lot of products too. So that's why I wanted to explain that to you. So the more you can think about that, that works with your organic stuff and also your paid stuff. So sometimes we have ads that are super short copy, and sometimes stuff that's fairly long, and sometimes really long. The key is to emotionally connecting. That's the key, right?
Yeah,
If you're to-
emotionally connecting.
yeah. So the basic elements. So here's what Ralph said when he's talking about a link post ad. The reason why we call this a link post ad is because this right here is a clickable link. So they click on that image, they get taken to the landing page. So in this case, you've got you can call this the headline because basically in a lot of cases, hey coach, is it possible to sell a 5-figure coaching engagement without sounding like a salesperson? That's kind of like the headline in this situation. You can kind of think of it this way. And the ad copy is kind of like a subhead on a sales page or a landing page. And in some cases, we might have more copy, but other cases we don't. In most cases, this kind of amount works pretty well, we've found. And then you've got your ad here, just testing different ads. This is kind of a stock image, but
You're creative. No, actually, the client created that, but we
Okay.
gave them instruction on what to do and how to,
okay.
yeah.
So they've got calls to action there with the button, click here. Of course, you can't have more than 20% of your image overlaid with text. Okay, so you got to be careful there. And then down here, so you've got your, there we go. This is your creative, we call it, right, the image. And then down here, what it is, this is a newsfeed ad. It's another headline because it's bolded. And then you got really some more ad copy or sub-headline. So we kind of call that the same thing. But just so you guys can give an example. And then the thing is let's show you some ad congruency here.
Back on that.
Sure.
For a second. So this is like the standard format we use. You don't have to use this format. We're just giving you we could give you 100 examples. It's just one that we used that did really well. This is before we changed this to business or executive coach, okay? But I think this one was actually going to their custom audience, as I recall. So it was a little bit different, which were business coaches and executive coaches. So you can call them out. But the point is that there is a headline, but it's not like manipulative kind of headlines. It's not, when I come from the affiliate marketing side where I used to sell acai and Collins lens and work at home stuff. So, that's sort of my copywriting background. So I've had to modify it a little bit for Facebook because that kind of stuff just doesn't fly on Facebook. You've got to be genuine. You really do. And to Bree's point, you've got to connect. Because people on Facebook are not going to fall into that trap of, oh, I can be a millionaire in 2 days, or we'll get rich quick, or any of that sort of stuff. But this does give them, this is exactly what this tool gives them. So we read the tool, went through it, confidently sell 5-figure engagements. Facebook didn't really know what engagement means. It's basically meaning coaching programs without being salesy. And that's exactly what the tool delivers on the other side. And then right here, it's awkward when you have to sell new coaching clients, right? That's why I said Mini Tool Checklist will help land coaching clients confidently and comfortably. I'm not even sounding like a salesman when I write it. So the point is that you tell them enough. We could have taken this out and just used that, and then this probably would have done just as well. But this is the perfect example of an ad that we ran a lot of traffic to, and it did extremely well from an opt-in standpoint.
And in their case, they created multiple lead magnets. We're testing different lead magnets for the same basic funnel because they didn't really change the funnel. We can test different types. One of them was mistakes, or several different.
7 of them. They had 7 lead magnets. 8. God, really?
Yes.
Oh my God. You don't have to do that. 1, 2 is fine. Yeah.
So let's get moving here. So ad congruency is another thing. So this is, okay, remember earlier we showed you one of our favorite landing page, which was Digital Marketer, the 72 social media headlines. Wait, no? Swipe file. The swipe file. Well, if you look at, and Molly has shown this inside of DM Engage as one of their, she shows a lot of the ads that have worked really well with their Facebook ads, and that is one of them. And I've showed it on some of my trainings as a screenshot. And if you remember that landing page, the most ad that they ran was basically the same image as the background, like this, right? And so it's very congruent. That's just, there's main reasons why we already talked about why that works so well. It's because of the swipe file. It's a tool. But in this situation, same thing. So this is triathletes. This is that kind of unique, weird lead magnet that we talked about earlier. It's like an inclusion lead magnet. They have to give feedback. And so it's kind of unique. But if you look at the ad, triathletes earn free triathlon training, train, give feedback, and receive complimentary triathlon training. So It's exactly the same, and it works really well. We're averaging right around $1, depending on
About a buck.
about $1 per lead consistently.
Their qualification for the program, they want $10 or $15, and we're bringing it in at 5 or 6 right now.
So we're getting a lead for $1, and then the next step after they opt in, remember we talked about the thank you page as step 4 in my 9-step process, is the thank you page might be step 2. It could be a sales page. It could be schedule a demo of a software. In this case, it's to fill out, how much information are they filling out? It's basically all their information that they want to go through the program.
But the interesting thing here is that this is just an example of, like, there's message match. Like, this is perfect message match from here to here. You don't have to have it perfect. I mean, we created this. This is a Jing screen capture from that page. Like, that's how I created that creative. It's like nothing. 1200 by 627. There's your size. 1200 by 627 pixels. It's your best image for a newsfeed ad, for link post, and it just kind of continues the story. This is really, the reason why this, if you take this out of context with that doesn't really make sense. It's like, give feedback, what the hell are you talking about? But if you're clicking on this ad, you're saying, earn free training, give feedback, and receive complimentary, set a personal best in 2015 with 30% less training time, tried out its revolutionary program. I bet you if I changed it to like the right spelling, I probably wouldn't even convert. That's hysterical. But anyway, so it creates this continuity from ad to landing page ultimately.
So their goal is to get them to take another step, fill out all their information. That's a qualified lead. That's what he said. It's costing them $5 to get a qualified lead. Okay? So we're not going to create ads and images yet. We're going to have Molly come up. We'll take a quick little break. Then we're going to use a really cool tool called, after she goes, we're going to use a tool called Canva to create some creative and ad creatives for you guys. And then we're going to get a lot more action going after that.
So we'll actually go to the ad manager after this and show you kind of how the process kind of works, you know, bringing this all together, but in advance of that,
Yeah. So right now, I think let's take a 5-minute break, and then Molly from Digital Marketer. A lot of you guys already know this, but Molly Pittman, who is a badass, she runs Digital Marketer, Ryan Dice's traffic, Facebook ads, and she's going to come up and do an awesome presentation on some super cool ninja stuff. I'm super excited. We've talked about a lot of the stuff that they're doing earlier today and how we learn a lot of our stuff from them because they're doing a lot of traffic. They do a lot of testing. They implement. So I'm super excited for her to come up. Just let's take a 5-minute break and try to come back in here if you guys can, or get back to your seats quarter after. So we're going to keep this one short and kick some butt.